In a world that often celebrates the outgoing and the gregarious, it's easy for introverts to feel like they don't quite fit in. We're often misunderstood, labeled as shy, awkward, or even aloof. But the truth is, introversion is not a weakness. It's simply a different way of experiencing the world. Introverts are not antisocial. We simply find our energy and inspiration from within. We thrive in quiet environments where we can delve into our thoughts and passions. We're often deep thinkers with rich inner worlds and a keen eye for detail. While extroverts gain energy from social interaction, we find it draining. That's not to say we don't enjoy connecting with others. We simply prefer smaller groups and more meaningful conversations. This guide is for anyone who has ever felt like they needed a little extra time to recharge after a social gathering, anyone who has ever been told they're too quiet, and anyone who wants to understand the different ways introversion can manifest. It's an exploration of the four main types of introverts, their unique strengths, and how they navigate the social world. Introversion, like any personality trait, exists on a spectrum. While we share a preference for solitude and deep thinking, there are subtle nuances that distinguish us. Understanding these differences can help us better understand ourselves and others. The four main types of introverts are social, thinking, anxious, and restrained. Social introverts are often described as the life of the party in their heads. They enjoy socializing, but they prefer smaller, more intimate gatherings. Thinking introverts are introspective and reflective, often lost in their own thoughts and ideas. Anxious introverts experience a degree of social anxiety, which can make social situations particularly challenging. And lastly, restrained introverts are often seen as reserved and thoughtful. They take their time to process information and prefer to observe before engaging. Each type of introvert navigates social situations in their own unique way. Social introverts, while enjoying social interaction, need time to recharge after being around people. They might attend a party, but they'll likely seek out a quiet corner for a break at some point. Thinking introverts might find themselves lost in thought during a conversation, needing a moment to bring their attention back to the present. Anxious introverts might avoid social situations altogether, or experience physical symptoms like a racing heart or sweating. Restrained introverts might take a while to warm up to new people or situations. They're often good listeners and observers, preferring to speak when they have something meaningful to contribute. Understanding these different approaches can help us communicate more effectively and build stronger relationships. For example, if you're a social introvert, you might need to explain to your extroverted friends that you need some downtime after a big event. Section 4. Finding your footing. Practical tips for introverts. Navigating a world that often seems designed for extroverts can feel challenging at times. But there are ways to embrace our introversion and thrive in any social setting. One of the most important things is to honor your energy levels. Don't feel pressured to attend every social event or to stay out late if you're feeling drained. It's also helpful to find your tribe people who understand and appreciate your need for solitude and meaningful conversation. And don't be afraid to advocate for yourself. If you need a break, take one. If you're feeling overwhelmed, excuse yourself from the situation. Remember, there's nothing wrong with being an introvert. In fact, our quiet strength is often what allows us to listen deeply, think critically, and offer a unique perspective to the world. Section 5. Embracing your introverted nature. Introversion is not a flaw to be fixed, but a fundamental aspect of who we are. It's time to stop apologizing for our need for solitude, for our love of quiet reflection, for our preference for smaller groups and deeper conversations. Embracing our introversion means recognizing its strengths, our creativity, our empathy, our ability to focus and think deeply. It means creating a life that aligns with our energy levels, a life that allows us to recharge and show up as our best selves. This might mean setting boundaries, saying no to things that drain us, and carving out time for solitude and reflection. It might also mean challenging ourselves to step outside of our comfort zones from time to time, knowing that growth and learning often happen on the other side of our fears. Section 6. The power of quiet in a world that can't stop talking. In a world that often feels chaotic and overwhelming, the quiet strength of introverts is more important than ever. We bring a unique perspective to the table, one that values contemplation, empathy, and deep understanding. We're often the listeners, the observers, the ones who see the world a little differently. Our ability to tune out the noise and focus on what truly matters is a valuable asset in a world that's constantly vying for our attention. So, to all the introverts out there, embrace your quiet power. The world needs your thoughtfulness, your creativity, and your ability to see the beauty in the stillness.